I, 34 male, work full-time in an office, and my wife, let's call her Ann, 32 female, is a stay-at-home mom to our daughter, 3 female. And a couple hours ago, I discovered she's been cheating on me with a man called David from her parenting group after 8 years of being together and 4 married. I never suspected her of cheating on me, as she's a child of divorce and always spoke about the importance of a complete family, so this has come as a complete shock and I'm in turmoil. I found out the affair happened when she had gone on a girls' weekend with her sister and a couple of other longtime friends. As of now, I do not know if AP went on the trip with them or if there even was a girls' trip at all, and it was just 2 of them there. I've been staying up all night looking into divorce lawyers and custody laws, but I don't feel like I'm any closer to knowing what to do. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Update. Okay, so I confronted Ann. The first thing I asked her about was, were there any girls in the girls' weekend? And how did the man from her parenting group become one of these girls? My wife started to stutter. I told her I knew the answers to the above 2 questions already, and I just wanted to know how long this has been going on. She was silent and wanted more time to clear things out in her head, but I told her it was the wrong answer. I'm done. I'm not interested in reconciliation. I want a divorce. She's made her choice, and it was a choice to destroy everything we built together over the last 8 years. I'm shattered, and I feel like I've lost everything. Her, our future, my sense of self. The past 8 years have been hard. Neither of us came from anything, so I worked insanely hard. So many sleepless nights, so many sacrifices, just so we could finally achieve the stability we do now. I thought we were finally in a place where we could breathe again and find happiness after years of struggle. I was fighting to survive, and she was sneaking around behind my back. I cannot comprehend her actions. When I confronted her and asked why she never talked to me about being unhappy or feeling unfulfilled, she tried to twist it around and told me it was partly my fault. Had I been more attentive, I'd have known. But I shut that down. I'm not a mind reader. If she had ever once told me how she was feeling, I would have done everything in my power to make things right. I would have tried to fix it, but she never gave me that chance. She never gave our family a chance. She knows no remorse and doesn't even want to discuss why or how this happened. She shut down completely, and I'm left feeling like a wimp. I've made my decision, and I'm filing for divorce soon. I'm terrified of what this means for our daughter. I don't want her to ever think I betrayed her or ruined our family. I'm trying my best to stay strong for her and not let this break me, but I'm cowering. I fear I might be a pushover and try to stay for our daughter, only to discover years later how she's cheating again. I do not want to be that man. Thank you for reading. Update 2. It's been 3 days since I discovered Ann's affair. She's acting like nothing's happened. She carries on like she didn't just torpedo our marriage. She talks to me about the most mundane things, complaining about traffic, chatting about random stuff that I have no interest in anymore. I don't know if she's putting on an act or if she's genuinely in shock and this is her coping mechanism. We haven't had a single meaningful conversation about the affair or what comes next. It's as if she thinks we can just sweep it under the rug and move on like nothing happened. It's been agonizing watching her plan a vacation with our daughter, like everything's perfectly normal. Her lack of acknowledgement of what she did, or the pain she caused, makes me feel completely disrespected. It's like her affair means absolutely nothing to her, and in turn, neither do my feelings. I've been struggling every day since I found out. I can't eat, I barely sleep, and I've lost weight already. And all she does is ask if I'm sick. It's surreal, like she's a different person altogether, someone I don't recognize anymore. It feels like she's happier now, almost relieved, like I was just some burden to her. It makes me feel worthless, but I'm trying to remind myself that her actions don't define my worth. I've made some progress on my end, though. I've put a retainer down for a lawyer, and the divorce papers should be ready by next week or the week after. I've told my immediate family about what's happening, and they've been supportive. I plan to tell the rest after I serve her the papers. I'm sure she won't like that, but at this point, I don't consider it my responsibility to manage her feelings. AP can step in for that. Thank you for everyone who's been following my story and offering advice. Your support means more than you know. Final update. I served my soon-to-be ex divorce papers and, as expected, got no reaction. She continued to go out frequently, no doubt to see AP. It felt like she'd already checked out of our marriage and was already moving on with the AP. We've been going through the motions of the divorce process and have started mediation to sort things out. Then last week, out of nowhere, she came in after going out, saying she wants to work things out and wants her family back. She was crying her eyes out, telling me she's realized how much she loves me and no other man will ever compare to me. Obviously, I'm not buying it. Ever since D-Day, she's ignored the pain she caused me, acted indifferent, and went on with her life as if what she did didn't destroy mine. I doubt this has anything to do with love or remorse. It seems like things didn't pan out with her affair partner, and now she wants the comfort and stability of what we had back. I've mostly been ignoring her, except for things that concern our daughter. I'm checked out. I told her I'm going forward with the divorce, and I can't wait for it to be done. She called me selfish. I don't want that pain back in my life. I've finally put myself first for once and realized that I don't deserve to be treated this way. I don't see myself going back to a place that only brings more hurt and doubt. Thank you all for the continued support. I'm beyond thankful for this community. I don't know what I'd done without you folks. Story 2. My wife cheated. A mutual friend encouraged it, and I want the friend out of our lives. My wife, 30 female, and I, 34 male, have been together for 7 years and married for 3. When things are going well, there's a glow over our relationship. We're best friends, and I think I speak for both of us, we couldn't be happier. As a result of childhood trauma, we both have our rainy days, though. She has suffered with a compulsive eating disorder as long as I've known her and was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder a couple of years ago. Mentally, I was woefully unprepared in how to support her when things got bad and codependency ensued. That's when the storm hit. About a year ago, she cheated on me. It was a one-time thing. She came clean pretty much straight away, and since then we've been doing a lot of therapy work together on what was missing in our relationship and separately to work on our personal stuff. Although I'm still hurting from the infidelity, our relationship is in a better place. As my therapist would put it, we've managed to get the you, me, and us triangle back into balance. We have a contentious issue though. In the aftermath, I found out a mutual friend who was in the middle of a long-term affair at the time encouraged the behavior. At the time, I was ready to tell this friend to give us space to rebuild. That triggered abandonment anxiety for my wife, and I was met with, but she's the only one that knows. She's been a great support, and I don't want to lose her. It was an emotional time for both of us, obviously. We had bigger issues to tackle, clearly, and so I dropped it. Since then, my opinion has shifted. She's a reminder of what happened, and just not the sort of friend I want in my or my wife's life. For my wife, she sees my wish as me being controlling and I should get over it. I know that sounds rather harsh, but it's only really displayed when this issue arises. Other than that, my wife's really trying to be supportive of my recovery. So, I'd like to get on with trying to get past the pain of the infidelity. I realize this friend may be a convenient place to hang some of my anger while I work through the process, but right now, the issue is probably distracting and hindering that recovery. Choices. Accept this friend into our lives, or insist that she doesn't meet the criteria of someone I'd consider a friend, hold firm on my desired outcome, and potentially break up our marriage in the process. Edit. In how she wants this person to be in our life, every event we host, she's invited, my birthday included. Post D-Day, perhaps misguided, but in an attempt to be fair, I told my wife what I was going to say to the friend, and the abandonment thing stopped my conversation on the subject between me and friend. Since then, she's always acted like everything's fine. I honestly don't know if she knows what I know and how I feel. If she's in our life, it hurts. For now, at least. If she's in her life, the trust thing kicks in and it still affects me. If she's in neither, My wife is upset, so I'm not sure how either of us can have our cake and eat it. I've asked if the friend is worth more than me, and the response is, of course not. I love you and want to be with you. And then she turns the table with, why am I doing this? Why the ultimatum? My confusion kicks in, and I question why this person that is insignificant to me holds so much importance in my recovery, and yet retaining that relationship holds so much importance to my wife. With dependents, a mortgage, and being the sole breadwinner, I'm finding it hard to navigate the waters of divorce. Looking at potential negative outcomes, either my son is raised by a mother with BPD without me as a safety net, supported by parents that were instrumental in the mother's development of BPD and an eating disorder, or a custody battle against a family whose financial might far exceeds my own. Walking away scares the shit out of me. You're in a difficult position, and your feelings are completely valid. It's not unreasonable to want distance from a friend who encouraged your wife's infidelity and represents a painful time in your marriage. Your wife's attachment to this friend seems rooted in her fear of abandonment, which is common with BPD. However, your needs matter too, and keeping this person around is clearly hindering your healing. Instead of issuing ultimatums, which could backfire, try setting boundaries around this friend's involvement in your life. For example, it's fair to say you don't want this friend at events meant to celebrate you. You're trying to be reasonable, but it's crucial for your wife to understand how her choices impact your trust and the relationship's recovery. Given your concerns about divorce and custody, it might be wise to consult a lawyer to explore your options and better prepare for potential outcomes. Whatever happens, focus on what you need for your own healing and well-being, and don't settle for anything less than a partnership that respects both of your needs. Now for some comments. Your wife's friend is not your friend. That's simple. Your wife's friend does not give your marriage support. In fact, she did the opposite. She played a part in your wife's cheating. Your wife's friend is not going to help the marriage. Your wife's friend is in a long-term affair, so she'll be behind your wife having another one. Your wife's friend cannot be trusted. Your wife's friend needs to be out of yours and your wife's life if you want to be able to work on your marriage. The conversation needs to go like this. I love you and I want to recover from this, but the thought of you talking to this friend continues to trigger my emotions. I'll never be able to trust you with this friend again. Knowing how cavalier she was to your infidelity, how will I ever trust that she won't encourage you to do it again? I'm sorry, but it's just too traumatic for me. If you must stay friends with her, then I think we should end it now because it's just too emotionally painful for me.